Welcome everyone to the 9 Golden Rules of Successful Site Search. Today's webinar is based on what we have seen working on search with our customers with a focus on local government. We've seen some common trends that we've coined into the 9 Golden Rules of website search. If you have any questions or comments throughout, we will include the details at the end of the webinar with how you can get in touch with us so we can be sure to follow up with you afterwards. So hi, my name is Davila Thompson. I have been working on search for 5 years now. I started my career in IT back in the States, and when I moved to Australia 5 years ago, I jumped into funnel-back search at Squiz, and I haven't looked back. I really enjoy the process of manipulating search and turning it from something unhelpful to being your one-stop shop for navigating all of your content. I'm really passionate about getting our customers to that place. So I really hope this webinar today gives you that push to get you there as well. Let's jump right in. Now, improving your site search is a really low risk, high value project. In terms of the uplift in customer experience and support for task completion, it should be the lowest risk and lowest cost web project you can do. A good search connects users to information and services 24/7 from any device. And your residents, businesses, and visitors are trained on Google and other internet search engines. They're bringing information, they're bringing that expectation of user-friendly, helpful search to your website. In fact, your website analytics probably show a lot of your website traffic coming to you from Google. So that's speaking to what search-driven citizens have become when accessing information online. But delivering a helpful search experience that supports self-service online doesn't happen by accident or just come out of the box. And that's the focus of this webinar, how to deliver best practice search experiences that really help your website users and help your council make digital progress. Also, I'd like to stress that this is all tech agnostic. So although our technology at Squiz is great and we'd love for you to use it, you can really apply this thinking to any search technology that you're currently using. So let's think like your council CFO for a moment. Why invest time or money in improving your website search? After all, it works. Someone enters a search term and results come back. And this holds true for many council websites that just use the search bundled with their CMS on default settings. It works, but it's not delivering a really helpful and pleasing customer experience that could save users time by serving up high quality results right at the top of the page. It could support self-service online. It could make it easier for customers to find the right information and services. And it could help people comply with regulation and encourage good behavior. In addition to these gains in customer experience, really good website search can actually create operational efficiencies and cost savings for councils in such areas such as reducing phone and email walk-in inquiries to customer services, reducing non-compliance due to erroneous information or inability to find correct information, and enabling councils to spot and respond faster to trends in community information needs. And all these potential benefits can be achieved by following our 9 golden rules of successful site search. It's much quicker and cheaper than redeveloping your website all over again, and your CFO will be proud of you. Commercial websites have long recognized the value of search in helping users find and do what they came for. And these conversions mean sales, which means money. Amazon, for example, makes over $800 million in a month in extra sales by continuously improving their search results. Amazon won't spend money on things that don't make a difference to the customer experience or their bottom line. So substitute task completion for an online purchase as a successful conversion for your council site. And there's a message for councils here. It shows that the easier it is for people to find the information or service that they want on your website, the more they'll complete the task, the relevant task online. That is, search powerfully supports channel shift to digital and digital services uptake. For example, the Electoral Commission in the UK worked with us at Squiz to improve search, adding new search features and using the analytics and admin tools in our funnelback product to better control their search results, improving key conversion rates from 22% at the beginning of the project to 52% just after 3 months. So it's worth paying attention to and improving website search. So let's dive into those 9 best practices I keep talking about. Our rules are really usability principles, and we pulled them together from a whole lot of research. So this is from our learnings, but from many projects with customers such as councils, utilities, universities, banks, and government departments in New Zealand, Australia, the UK, US, Canada. And as I mentioned before, they're search technology agnostic. You can apply them to whatever search technology you are using right now. But if you find your search technology won't easily allow you to do what we outlined today, then we'd love to talk to you about this after this webinar. Now, rule number one is to, well, make your search easy to find. If you look at any of the most trafficked sites online from a design perspective, there is a common pattern. Search is obvious. There's a big search bar ready for you to type into. It's a very easy visual cue. This is a search bar, type in your query here. And this is a pattern you should simply follow, unless there's a specific reason why not. We do see some council websites with search tucked away somewhere really hard to notice, or represented by a tiny magnifying glass that a user has to click to activate the search box. We'd contend that these are not dominant web design patterns, and they are just a little less helpful for those of your users wanting to search. Remember how much of your website traffic originates from Google and other internet search engines that make search obvious. You want to make sure your council website does reflect that. If you're interested in how design impacts search usage and measuring digital investments with search, there's a really great session from our 2019 Squiz Summit that you can find on our website. Alan Etkin, the search manager at British Columbia Institute of Technology, noted that when they changed their homepage design and they got rid of the search bar, instead they had a really small magnifying glass. Their search usage actually dropped by 20%. They have recently redeveloped their site, and while the search is still in the top right-hand corner, the large obvious search bar is back. And as we'll see later on, search users tend to convert at higher rates than users who don't search. So a university wanting prospective students to apply to enroll, making search less findable really costs them real dollars. And for councils wanting citizens to complete their tasks online, well, making search less findable can lead to higher usage of your customer services team. Rule number two is to ensure the most relevant search results come back first. The relevance of search results really matters. Searchers might reward you with a higher task completion rate, but they will also punish you. On average, some 55% of users will abandon their search and leave a website if they can't find it quickly. If they can't find the information they're looking for quickly. And that's problematic. For a council, it might mean some people are going away without the right information, or they will call into your call center, or they will walk in. And while that's not the end of the world, it is substantially more expensive to service customers over the phone or in person relative to the customer serving themselves online. The reason that search users quickly abandon sites when they're not satisfied with the search results is that they've come to expect the right search result every time in the top few results. And that's thanks to the likes of Google. The Nielsen-Norman group found that some people often look at only the first search result. They term these people satisficers because they were looking for something that was simply just good enough and relative to the effort they were willing to invest. They weren't looking for the best answer, only the one which was good enough. Thus, it's really important your site search is returning the most relevant information at the top of the search results page. No matter what search engine tool you use, there should be easy manual ways to check this yourself. Look at the results for your most common search terms or your highest value search terms. Look at how old is the content for those search terms. Is it still current and accurate? Are the search results relevant to the search term? If the content is out of date or the search results are irrelevant to the search term, that should really concern you because searchers may be accessing old information, or they may not find what they're looking for and either do the wrong thing at worst, or simply use a more expensive channel like a phone. Look at these search results for the term waste. What are people likely searching for when they type waste into your council search bar? What is their intent? Do they want the area to schedule to search result? Are they interested in industrial and commercial pollution? Most likely not. When you identify that your search results are old or they're not relevant to the searcher intent, there should be an easy way to solve this in your search tool. Ideally, you should be able to do three different things. One, you should be able to get rid of specific search results for each search term. So for example, if the content is old, or you should be able to eliminate certain pages and documents from the search index altogether so they never show up for any search result. Two, you should be able to say, make this page show up whenever someone searches for X, because often there is a specific page which you want people going to first. And three, you should also be able to generally tune your search results by saying to your search tool, when people use this search term, show results that are like this, so that you increase the overall search experience. As I mentioned just before, you should be able to say, make this page show up first whenever anyone searches for X. One of our clients, Wellington City Council, has done this so well. Looking through their search analytics for search terms with no results, they were puzzled to see that seemingly random strings of numbers kept appearing in their no results section. And they were being entered quite frequently, and they were yielding no search results. This was obviously not great for the search user and bad for the council because it represented people not finding what they wanted. So the search master walked around council departments trying to find which department recognized these string of digits. It turned out the parking department issued fines with a 9-digit serial number. The search admins then created a rule which essentially said, anytime someone searches for a 9-digit number, show the parking fine page in the search results. Users could now search for any 9-digit parking ticket serial number and immediately be redirected to the parking fines page, which you can see here in the screen grab. For any Funnelback users on the call, you know that this is possible using the Funnelback curator trigger and actions. So that example was all about paying attention to search analytics and ensuring a helpful result comes up in a specific case. But we can also improve the overall relevance of your search results. And how do we do this? Well, at Funnelback, we do this with explicit relevance feedback. Essentially what you're doing is you're training your search results, and you do that by saying, for these keywords, here are the, say, top 10 search results I want to appear. For Funnelback users on the call, if you're not sure how to do this, this is done through our tuning feature, which you can check out on the screen here, or reach out to us if you need some help with the online documentation. Every search engine will likely have some way you can train your search results. The important thing is that you're constantly checking your results and you know how to tweak them in whatever search tool you're using. But a good search tool will also use implicit relevance feedback. This refers to the search engine making judgments based on user behavior. What this looks like for us is that the search engine will be upweighting search results, which are clicked on the most frequently. Funnelback does this as well for you right out of the box. Rule number 3 is to index everything. Now think for a moment about all the places where you have useful content that your site users might want to find. There's news, there are events, you have standard page content, the type of things that live in your CMS, but there are also cemetery records, property records, there are council meeting minutes and agendas. You may have locations, facilities, or even social media posts which contain very important information. And of course, your other websites that you're using that might be managed on different platforms. The search which comes out of the box with your CMS may only provide search results from websites on that specific platform. And that may leave out a lot of your other content and a lot of data that's not indexed and not available to be searched. But your search users don't care where it lives. When they search, they are saying, give me the thing I want related to this search term. They're not saying, just show me only website content related to my search term. They really want to see everything about the council related to that term. A truly useful search experience crosses silos and provides access to all relevant data. When you're using Squid's Funnelback, you are able to index all of that content from multiple different sources to create that federated one-stop shop search. Rule number 4 is to empower your search visitor. Councils serve audience segments such as residents, businesses, and visitors. Searchers from these segments may have different intents relating to the same query. So how do you cater to them all? We use filters, or we also call them facets, to give the power back to the user to find exactly the thing that they want. Somebody who searches for waste might be interested in domestic or commercial waste. They might be interested in services or policies or dates or fees or registering because they moved somewhere and they need a new bin. If you give them filters, you're helping them more quickly find what they are looking for. There's a reason why Google also provides them too. Timaru District Council is doing a really good job at this. Searching for parks and looking at this screen gives you the opportunity to refine your search with parks and facilities, news, services, or bylaws by using our tab navigation. Council-specific tab filters do come out of the box with our local government search package, and they're configurable for your council's content. Our next rule is to be forgiving. People call things by different names, and not everyone can spell perfectly. Perhaps English is their second language. A good search needs to allow for this. You don't want to be excluding people from finding what they need simply because they call something by a different name, or because they put I's and E's in the wrong place. A good example is when I moved to Australia, I kept searching for garbage day to figure out when I needed to take out my garbage. And I wasn't getting the result I needed. What I needed to be searching for was bin, but I didn't know that for a while after moving here. Now, if you are relying on people to search for the things using your own organizational vernacular and spelling things perfectly, your users are going to be pretty frustrated, like I was when I first moved here. A good search should provide several features to help. So a couple are autocomplete, which is a feature that predictively offers suggestions to complete a search query. So this saves users a few keystrokes, but more importantly, offering correctly spelled search terms while they're typing. The spelling suggestions feature, which catches common misspellings and offers a "did you mean" option. And also curator and synonym rules, which allow you to map terms your own council uses to the terms the public uses. So your users get relevant results, even if they don't know your council's terminology. Our next rule is to encourage the design. Encourage the click. Design does matter in this case. The days of search pages being an ugly listing of 10 blue links is really gone. This is a direct correlation between the look and feel of the search engine results page and how long a visitor spends researching. You need to ensure that your search solution has the ability to fit seamlessly into your site, matching your design. In addition, each search result should have a nice custom summary, which makes it easy for people to understand exactly what the thing is that they're about to click on. Funnelback for local government allows custom result summaries for each document type, and it's optimized for mobile and desktop. So this can include all types of metadata right there in the search results. And enriching your search results with supplementary information such as date, location, and content type, or any other metadata really helps your users get to the right content faster. And also you can present it right in the search results so they get their information right then and there, and they've completed their task. Our next rule is to be personal. Your different audience segments, which are residents, visitors, or businesses, likely come to your website with somewhat different information needs. And this sometimes extends to the intent behind similar or even the same search term. A modern site search will allow you to adjust your search results to accommodate for different intents. For example, by highlighting key information or reprioritizing search results on specific search terms. So this could be if, like we mentioned before, a resident is searching for waste information, or if a business is searching for waste information. You want the correct related results to appear in the right order for those users. You might want to do this automatically. So for example, by highlighting a piece of information in a particular language to match the user's language, if they've got the user language setting in their browser. Or you might want to allow users to self-select into one of your audience segments, whether this is done by filters or if you do it through your website personalization. Then when they perform a search query, you can present specific results or rank content differently to better match the intent, connecting these users to the information or services that they're seeking faster. Now, rule number 8, this is about understanding all of your content. Some search engines can also give you valuable insight into all of your content to help you improve it over time. Some basic insights are knowing, one, for example, exactly what is in the index. This is really important as you want to know what you are presenting in your search. If you don't have that insight, you can inadvertently provide access to content that shouldn't be shared. 2, you also want to know the age of all of your content. Currency of information is especially important in areas of your website that people may rely on to comply with rules and requirements. Your search should help you identify old content right down to the URL. A few more basics we expect from your search engine is that your search should also give you a user-friendly review of missing metadata. It should also assess the readability of your content in terms of reading age, and this would help you keep improving your website content for user groups such as people with English as their second language. The website search should also check for duplicate content or broken links. And a really important last one is your site's accessibility. Included with our Funnelback product, the accessibility tool allows your organization to flag accessibility failures using the WCAG standards, and it can suggest remedies and track progress over time. Here's another interesting use of your search engine, which you might not have considered, using it to return you a list of URLs which have undesirable content, where the page or document has terms or phrases which are out of date and need to be updated or removed. For example, a university client of ours built a new self-service portal for students so that they could reset passwords. The portal was great and people loved using it, but a stubbornly high number of people kept calling, enough that it was costing them about $70,000 a year in terms of service delivery. They thought they had removed that password reset help desk number from the website, but people kept calling. So they used Funnelback to find all of the hidden and forgotten places where the number was actually listed. And it turns out it was all over the website. But with Funnelback, they could find it and then remove it. Now people use the portal instead. Finally, rule number 9 is to understand and act on users' behavior. Your website search tool should be able to give you insight into all of your users' behavior. You can look at how different search terms rise at different times of the year or in response to different events, which can either give you the option to shape your content ahead of time, for example, making sure that all of your fire readiness content is available ahead of fire season, or it can alert you to your community's concern. COVID is an obvious example. Funnelback Trend Alerts gives you that proactive view. It services any unusual search behavior. The Wellington City Council parking ticket, for example, is another example of council paying attention to searches producing no results and acting to improve customer experience and improve compliance, which would be getting these parking tickets paid. We also have another great example here from the New Zealand Treasury. The Treasury believed their website had been hacked because people accessed budget information early while it was still embargoed. And a huge issue was made out of it in the press. In reality, they hadn't configured their search very well. If site users search for the embargoed budget information, the website search would show it happening. A good search should show you and notify you immediately when there has been a spike in search terms being used. For example, 2,000 searches for the same search term, that should raise a red flag and you can investigate it. But if your search tool doesn't tell you, then you're not going to know. It should also tell you what content people are accessing most through your search, so you can make sure that content is really what you want people accessing. If it's old or inaccurate, make sure you remove it. It should also tell you which search terms are not returning any results, and that indicates a content gap, which you can then go ahead and address. This might end up meaning creating new content or creating new projects for your council. And it will also tell you the search terms that your citizens are using, so you can understand the words people use to describe certain things. If you see a whole bunch of searches for garbage, maybe create a synonym for garbage to bin. And you can then, using that, you can just keep going and look at all of your internal language and that make sure it matches what your search users are looking for. The Funnelback synonym tool does this really well and gives you a really simple, easy user interface to build all these synonyms and make sure you have those related searches nailed down. In short, search is a massively underutilized tool, which can tell you a lot about your customers and your citizens and everyone else that is using your search. Now, hopefully over the course of this webinar, I have got you thinking about a site search project, perhaps, or gave you some ideas for how you can make better use of your existing search tool. If you're wondering, how do I establish the return on investment of a search project? What is my probable return? Then you will have to tune into our next webinar, where we'll go into detail on how you can work that out and measure that exactly. We also have 2 good resources here on the screen, which you can take a screenshot of. This is the funnel back for local government package, which is everything you need to deliver a great search experience right out of the box. And the complete guide to local government search, which will help you get up to speed on search and the return on investment it can offer for councils. Here are our contact details to get in touch with more questions, and we'll get back to you soon. Thank you for joining.